My Dead Friend Zoe aims to tackle the heavy subject of PTSD among veterans with a blend of dark comedy and drama, but it stumbles under the weight of its own ambitions, delivering a film that feels more like a disjointed therapy session than a cohesive cinematic experience. Directed by Hausmann-Stokes, this debut feature leans hard on its personal inspiration, as it's drawn from the filmmaker's own military background, but that authenticity gets lost in a muddled narrative that can't decide if it wants to be a buddy comedy, a trauma exploration, or a family reconciliation tale. Sonequa Martin-Green stars as Merritt, an Afghanistan vet haunted by her dead friend Zoe, who appears as a snarky omnipresent figment of her guilt-ridden psyche. The concept sounds intriguing on paper, but in practice, it's a gimmick that wears thin fast. Natalie Morales, who plays Zoe, tries her best to inject levity, but her constant quips feel forced, like a stand-up routine awkwardly grafted onto a grief story. The tonal whiplash between Zoe's jabs and Merritt's somber reality is jarring, and the film never finds a rhythm that makes the interplay believable or earned. The plot itself is a mess of cliches and half-baked ideas. Merritt's struggles with PTSD are sidelined by a contrived subplot involving her grandfather, who is a Vietnam vet with Alzheimer's, whose gruff stubbornness feels like a stereotype pulled from a discount script bin. Their scenes together aim for poignant generational contrast, but land as predictable and emotionally manipulative instead. This movie also has a tacked-on romance with a retirement home worker, and a group therapy arc led by an underutilized Morgan Freeman, and you've got a film so overstuffed it forgets to develop any one thread properly. Visually, the movie is competent but uninspired, with flashbacks to Afghanistan that look like they were shot on a tight budget, and a present-day setting that's all muted tones and predictable melancholy. The editing is choppy, jumping between past and present with little finesse, making it hard to settle into either timeline. And while the cast is undeniably talented, they're let down by a script that prioritizes message over character depth. Martin-Green carries the film as best she can, but even her committed performance can't salvage a story that's too busy preaching about veteran struggles to actually show them with nuance. At its core, this movie wants to say something meaningful about grief, guilt, and the veteran experience, but it drowns in its own earnestness. The big reveal about Zoe's death, which is teased like a mystery box, lands with a thud, feeling more like a cheap twist than a gut punch. By the time the credits roll, complete with an on-the-nose plea for veteran support, you're left feeling lectured rather than moved. This is a film with its heart in the right place but its execution all wrong, a noble misfire that tries to do too much and ends up doing very little well. It's not worth to watch this in theaters, just wait on your streaming service.